Hey agents, it's your host Manny. In this video we'll be earning the tactical commendation for Manning National Zoo. I'm going to be doing this solo, so no group. So I found this was the trickiest tactical commendation to complete, and I had all kinds of issues while trying to complete it, from suicide bombers to NPCs with unlimited Molotov cocktails to invulnerable bosses who chase you down like Usain Bolt. We're going to go over the build I use and a few different tactics to help make it much easier. Alright agents, so the important thing for this build is I built it around patience on the knees, because what I wanted was ability, after being in cover for 5 seconds, armor repairs by 5% every 1 second. So after 20 seconds being in cover, we'll get full armor up, right? Given that we want to accomplish this commendation without losing all our armor, this is a very important trait to have. Some people I could see maybe going clutch, but I wanted the passive healing ability of patience so that I'm always getting it no matter what. I don't have to worry about hitting NPCs or anything like that. There are other people that say that if you kill things quickly, then they won't do damage to you, but this is just a little bit safer, I feel. I'm running with 2 ARs. The reason for that is if I run out of ammo, I can switch to one. I do have the Eagle Bearer, but you can just go with 2 P416s. It's easier to switch than to reload, especially against suicide bombers when they're running at you. Sometimes you're in the middle of reloading. I always find that's what happens to me. I'm in the middle of reloading when they're running at me and I just get screwed. So basically around 6, I need 6 blues for patience. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, right? Just they're nothing great pieces. They all have hard hitting. This is health, damage to elites. This is a Fenris with 3 red chests, and a Raldi with a blue. There's no real rhyme or reason, a good amount of health on this modified. This one is, I actually just added this the other day, 10% more armor, which is nice, with hard hitting. Hard hitting almost all pieces, precise on here, health and assault rifle damage. And then for the knees, obviously, health with hard hitting. Although armor would probably be better, but that's just how I went with it right now. It seems to work well for me. You get 10% protection from elites here, second piece of Fenris, 5% protection from elites on the 511 tack. That's the build there. Whole thing is just get patience. That's really what we're looking for, is patience. And the other thing you want to do is don't worry about hive. We do have the reinforce chem launcher, turret with incinerator. It actually does help a lot if you just drop it in different areas. So that's really it for the build. Onto the gameplay. As you're making your way through the zoo, the one thing you want to keep an eye on for is the bombers. The suicide bombers are probably your biggest threat besides the bosses themselves. So keep scanning left to right. Listen for them, because they're going to make loud noises as they run at you. So the first named boss you're going to face is the Venneman. He's going to show up right after you disable the security gates and go out and kill a few of the NPCs. My suggestion is walk out to the balcony, look to your right, and you'll see a pack of 3 mobs walking by a explosive barrel. Wait till let the barrel hit the barrel once, and then as they're burning, light those mobs up. You'll then have another group come from the left, and then most of them actually spawn underneath you and come running out. So you could probably stay up the top, but if things get a little hairy, retreat back into the room. Remember, we got the patience knee pads, so always stay behind cover so you always regenerating health. First order of kill is the bombers, and then take care of the boss afterwards. The next area you got to be a little concerned with is when you're doing the antenna array. It's not too bad, there's no boss, but you do get spawns from your right side. You can see here suicide bombers, and then you also have to worry about the front and slightly to the left. As you can see, they're coming down the ramp on the left. That's really about it. Just make sure you get the suicide bombers first. Keep scanning left to right, right to left of those. The only thing other than that is now Molotov cocktails. You can see I'm running back because, boom, they threw them where I was. So I basically moved from that big log to this rock, and I'll move back to the log again once the fire is out. The second named boss is a heavy with an axe in the crocodile enclosure, and what makes him a little tricky is he runs at you and is invulnerable for a bit. There are also numerous suicide bombers and Molotov cocktail throws you'll have to deal with at the same time. The boss comes out of the double doors on the far end of the room. So I like to stay back behind the down tree trunk near where you entered the room. Go examine the echo and run back to the tree trunk. This is the only part I don't want you to go to cover, because this is a heavy with an axe, and hiding in cover will not help you. He'll smoke you. The boss comes out first, but soon after a suicide bomber follows him. While the boss is invulnerable, take out any of the suicide bombers that follow him out. Quickly reload, and by this time the boss's invulnerability should have worn off. Like all heavies, shoot him in the head and take off his helmet, then take him down. Now the rest of the NPCs should be coming out. Get to cover behind the tree trunk and check left side and right side of the island for NPCs. The most important thing, once again, is take out the suicide bombers first. They are the most dangerous. After the suicide bombers, you want to pay attention to the guys throwing the Molotov cocktails. So most of the time, you'll know when an NPC is going to throw one because they announce it. But I found with this area, you often couldn't see them because they were on the other side of the island. Since you couldn't see them, you couldn't shoot them while they were throwing it, and you can't get them to drop it at their feet. If the NPCs get off Molotov cocktail, just move to the rock to your left, and then once the fire goes out, move back to the tree trunk. Once the boss is down and you're behind cover, it's a pretty easy fight after that. Just keep looking left and right to make sure the suicide bombers don't sneak up on you. The third boss is a pretty easy one, but he can be a little tricky at times too because he's a heavy with a flamethrower. Now, once you activate it, you're going to run outside, and there are 4 NPCs that are patrolling the area. The monorail will not arrive until you first shoot at them. Do your best to eliminate it first because it will make it much easier to take down the named heavy with a flamethrower if you don't have extra guys running around. Run to the left side once you have dealt with the first set of NPCs that were padding. Don't worry if you did not complete to take them all out. It is more important to get set up for the boss. He is a heavy with a flamethrower and the most dangerous NPC coming out of this area. Once you're set up in this area, you should have a good clear view of the stairs leading down from the monorail. There'll be a couple NPCs that run down the stairs before the boss, so take them out first, and especially any suicide bombers. The biggest thing I'd say is don't panic and make sure you quickly reload or switch weapons. Start shooting the boss in the helmet and take him down. If he gets too close and starts to set you on fire, then run back further and set up again. Once the boss is dead, the rest is pretty easy. Just take your time. The final boss you will face is Emmeline Shaw, and she is the most difficult because of the monorail machine gun and suicide bombers. It is also a multi-phase fight. In this first phase, you just need to kill 4 NPCs and retrieve a piece of C4 off the elite. Once the elite is dead, go retrieve the C4, place it on the column, and this phase is over. The next phase begins once you open the gate and jump down to the lower platform. This phase has 4 parts itself. Each of the first 3 parts ends when you blow up one of the columns under the monorail with C4. In the 4th part, you'll face Emmeline Shaw. The first 3 parts are all identical. You will face 4 NPCs, with 1 being elite. The elite always drops a C4 charge. Once you pick up the charge, there are 4 more NPCs that come out. After you kill these 4 NPCs, you'll place the charge and immediately start the next part. Once down on the platform, make your way to the left and go down onto the stairs. The mono gun can't hit you here because of the walls. Take out the NPCs, and once again, make sure the elite who will drop the C4 charge is behind cover so you can pick it up easily. Once he is dead, grab the C4 and go into the covered room. You're going to hide behind the display for most of the fight. This is a great place to hide because the NPCs will not come out behind you, and the cover overhead prevents Molotov cocktails from ruining your time. To set the C4 charge, you run up to the left side. This gives you good cover from the mounted gun. Once you get far enough in, the gun will stop shooting at you. Set the charge, and then run back the way you came and hide behind the display in the covered room. Now it's simply going to rinse and repeat. Kill the NPCs and make sure the elite dies behind cover. Pick up the C4, kill 4 more elites, and then set the charge. Now on this part, the NPCs that have the C4 charge come out the door behind the display we use. So run back towards the room and kill the NPCs as they come out the door. Just like last time, grab the C4 and then deal with a couple more NPCs, and then we set the charge. Once we set the charge, we will be in the final part and have to face against Emmeline Shaw. The hardest part about this is that she stays invulnerable for a very long time, and she runs like a track star. I'm not really sure why they did it this way, so the only way I could figure out how to get her to stop chasing me is to use a flame turret. Now, once you set the charge, run back to the first set of stairs we came down. Don't worry about the monorail gun. She's already out of it and not going to use it. So just head back the way we came. Once you're on the stairs, get to the top, turn around, drop the flame turret on the stairs, on the 3rd or 4th stairs at the bottom. Once turret's down, head up the stairs and get behind cover. NPC is going to be coming from the far side of the platform, and Emmeline Shaw and maybe a couple others come from the way you just came. Once Emmeline's dead, the rest of it's pretty easy. Once again, just hide behind cover and don't let them get you. Once all the NPCs are dead, to finish the mission, just go downstairs and activate the echo. Well, that's the nitty gritty of the whole accommodation, guys. So if you just took your time, went through this, you should be fine. You should have it like I got it. So that's about it. And I really hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, please hit that like button below. And if you have any questions, leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. If you'd like to see more content like this, then please smash that subscribe button. Also follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Maniocrity, where I stream Friday, Saturday, and Sundays at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until next time, agents, take it easy.